Maybe you woke up this morning and it was already there. Before the alarm fully registered. Before the first cup of coffee. Before you had said a word to anyone. That tension in the jaw. That tightness across the chest. The feeling that is hard to name precisely, but that you know all too well. Something unresolved. Something that was not finished yesterday. Something that still has edges and weight. Anger can be like that. It does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it just settles in quietly overnight and waits, and you carry it without fully realizing how much of the day it has already claimed, and it colors everything that comes toward you before the day has even properly started. You are already braced, already on guard, already somewhere between hurt and defense before a single word has been exchanged with another person. If that is where you are this morning, you are welcome here, exactly as you are. This is not a place where you are told that you should not be feeling what you are feeling, that you are wrong for it, or that a more spiritually mature version of you would have moved past it by now. Anger is not a sin. It is a signal. It is information about something that matters to you, something that was threatened or violated or left unaddressed. The question is never whether we feel it. The question is what we do with it, and whether we are willing to bring it into the light instead of carrying it alone into another full day. This morning, we are going to do exactly that. We are going to bring what is here into the presence of God. Honestly, without performance, without dressing it up into something more presentable than it is, and ask Him to help us do something with it that we genuinely cannot do entirely on our own. In Ephesians 4:26 we read, "In your anger do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry." Notice what Paul does not say here. He does not say, "Do not be angry." He does not say that anger is wrong, or that if you were further along in your faith, you would have already moved past this. He quotes the psalm, "In your anger," meaning he fully expects that anger is part of the human experience, that we will encounter it, that it will come into our lives regularly and legitimately. What he is pointing to is something about the life cycle of anger. What do we do with it between the moment it arrives and the end of the day? The danger is not in the feeling. The danger is in the carrying. The danger is in going to sleep with it still running, still building, still finding fresh fuel in every small irritation until it becomes something much heavier and more entrenched than where it started. Anger that is not processed tends to find company. It tends to gather evidence. It looks for confirmation, for more reasons, for additional exhibits in the case it is building, and it is quite good at finding them. Maybe the anger you woke with this morning is exactly that. Something you went to sleep with last night. Something that has had hours in the dark to grow new roots and find new reasons to justify itself. Or maybe it is something older still. Something from a conversation weeks or months ago. A wound that keeps reopening because it was never properly tended. A situation that never got the resolution you needed. Either way, the pattern Paul is describing is recognizable, and the invitation is the same. Let it not harden further. Bring it here, now, before another sun sets on it. God is not surprised by any of this. He is not standing at a distance waiting for you to have it more sorted before He will approach. He can hold anger. He is not fragile. What He is offering this morning is not a demand that you stop feeling what you feel, but an invitation to process it in His presence, rather than carrying it entirely alone into the day. That is a meaningful difference. Processing is not the same as suppressing. Processing is giving it somewhere real to go. Because that is what unprocessed anger costs us. It costs us presence. It costs us the clarity we need to see the situation accurately, to see people as they actually are, rather than through the distorting lens of what we are already feeling. It costs us the ability to see past someone's worst moment and remember that they too are carrying things we cannot see. And when we go into a day already armored, already reactive, already looking for evidence that we were right to be upset, we usually find it. Because we tend to find what we are looking for. The interpretation that is already running shapes what we notice, and what we notice confirms the interpretation, and the loop tightens until the whole day is lived inside it. This is not a failure of character. It is a description of how human beings are built. We are pattern-seeking creatures, and anger is a very efficient pattern setter. Once it is running, it finds its evidence quickly. Which is why Paul's instruction to not let the sun go down is not merely poetic. It is strategic. The longer the pattern runs uninterrupted, the more established it becomes, the more the world looks like confirmation of it, and the harder it is to dismantle. Every day matters. Every morning is an opportunity to interrupt what the night before tried to cement. But here is the grace in Paul's words. He wrote them to a community, which means he knew they would need them repeatedly, not just once. He was not describing an ideal that no one had ever fallen short of. He was speaking to real people in real conflict, who had real wounds from each other, who were navigating the messy, complicated work of living alongside people who disappoint and misunderstand, and sometimes genuinely cause harm. He was saying, process it. Bring it to the surface. Do not let it harden in the dark where no one can help you with it. Not God, not the other person, not even yourself. Something unspoken festers. Something brought into the light can begin to move. And Psalm 37:8 speaks directly into this space. We read, "Refrain from anger and turn from wrath. Do not fret. It leads only to evil." Refrain does not mean suppress. It does not mean smile and pretend nothing happened. Refrain means pause. It means something about choosing the moment and the direction, about inserting a space between the feeling and the full expression of it, a space where something other than the anger can also speak. Turn from wrath. Not turn away from the person, not pretend the situation is not real, but turn away from the consuming force of the emotion itself and orient towards something else, toward the steadier voice, toward the ground that does not shift. And then that phrase, do not fret, do not rehearse, do not run the loop again. Because fretting, the anxious, recursive cycling of an offense, does not resolve it. It deepens it. Every time the mental tape plays again, the anger finds a little more justification, a little more certainty, a little more of a righteous case for itself. And at the end of all that rehearsing, the evil the psalmist warns about is not just external. It is internal. What grows in us when we tend the anger rather than release it, the hardness, the guardedness, the slow erosion of compassion. The psalmist is not asking us to feel nothing. He is asking us to notice when the fretting has taken over, when we have crossed from legitimately processing something painful to circling it in a way that is no longer moving toward resolution, only toward reinforcement. There is a meaningful difference between sitting with something real and allowing yourself to feel it, and replaying it on a loop to build a stronger case. Most of us know that difference, if we are honest. And the psalmist is inviting us to choose the former and let go of the latter. The reason fretting leads to evil is not simply that it makes us unpleasant to be around. It is that it closes us. It makes us smaller. It takes the wide field of what is true and narrows it down to the one story we have been rehearsing. And in that narrowed field, grace cannot find a foothold. Compassion cannot grow. We become very good at our own case and very poor at everything else. The way out is not to invalidate the case. It is to loosen the grip on it long enough to receive something else. So this morning, in this protected space before the day begins, let us begin to process it. Let us name what is here. Let us say it honestly to the God who already knows every word before it forms, who is not surprised by any of it, and who is not stepping back from it. There is no right way to do this. There is no formula that makes the anger more acceptable to bring. You can come in the language of grief, or in the language of frustration, or even in the language of confusion. Because sometimes anger has confusion at its center. I do not understand why this happened, and I do not understand why it has not been made right, and I do not know where to put the feeling I am still carrying. All of that is welcome here. All of it can be named. Think about the specific anger you carried into this morning. Maybe it is at a person, someone who let you down, someone who acted without consideration for you, someone whose words are still ringing in your ears days later. Maybe it is at a situation, circumstances that feel out of your control, a door that has not opened, an injustice that has not been addressed. Maybe, if you are honest, there is a measure of anger toward God, the waiting that has gone on too long, the prayer that has not been answered in the way you needed, the silence at a moment when you needed to hear something. All of it is allowed here. He is not shockable. He can hold the full weight of what you have been carrying, and he will not crumble under it, and he will not love you less for bringing it. He has held heavier things than this, and remained utterly, completely steady. What he is offering in exchange is not simply a ceasefire. It is something more specific. It is what Paul describes in the broader passage as the fruit of the Spirit: a patience, a long-suffering, a gentleness that is not the absence of feeling, but the presence of something stronger than the feeling. A peace that holds even when the anger rises, a ground under your feet that does not shift when the emotions do. That is not something we manufacture from within ourselves. That is something we receive from without. And it is available this morning. Right here, right now, before you have to walk out into the day. Because the anger does not have to define today. It does not have to be the first thing, the loudest thing, the lens through which everything else is seen. It is real, and it is here. And it is not being dismissed. But it is not the only thing that is real. And this morning, you have the choice of which thing you give the first word. The anger has been speaking for a while. Let something else speak first today. Something steadier, something larger, something that has been waiting patiently behind the noise for a moment exactly like this one. You are in that moment now. Let us pray together. Wherever you are in this, whether the anger is sharp and fresh or old and settled deep, bring all of it. Bring the things you have already said out loud and the things you have only said to yourself. Bring the version of this you are ashamed of and the version you think is fully justified. He knows the difference between them better than you do, and he is not here to adjudicate. He is here to hold it all. Lord, I come to you carrying weight that I did not put down last night. There is anger in me this morning. Some of it I understand clearly, and some of it I am still trying to make sense of. I will not pretend it is not there. I know you already see it, already know its shape and its origin, and what it has cost me to carry it. I know you understand it better than I do myself. I bring it to you now. I name the person who hurt me, the situation that is not resolved, the disappointment that has sharpened over time into something harder. I hold it out to you, not to have it dismissed, not to be told it does not matter, but because I cannot carry it and remain fully open at the same time. And I want to remain open today. I want to go into this day with room in me, rather than with walls already built, with the expectation of harm already set. Teach me the difference between righteous anger and consuming anger. Help me know when something needs to be spoken and addressed. Give me courage and the right words to do that without letting the wrath drive the conversation. Help me know when something needs to be released, and give me the grace to release it without it living on inside me as bitterness, building its slow roots where the anger used to be. Where I have rehearsed this in my mind, where I have run the loop again and again, and each time found myself more convinced of my own case, interrupt that today. Not to silence me, but to remind me that I am seeing through one pair of eyes, standing at one angle, carrying my own history into everything I interpret. There is more to the story than I can hold from where I stand. Give me room to know that. Give me the grace to refrain. Not to suppress what I feel, but to pause before I speak. To turn from the wrath before I let it define the tone of the whole day. And in that pause, in that space between the feeling and the response, let me find you, steady, present, holding the situation with a capacity and a perspective I simply do not have on my own. In that space, help me remember who I am when I am not being driven by this. The person you are making me into, not the person this anger would prefer to speak for me. For the person at the center of my anger this morning, I ask you to bless them. That is not an easy prayer, God, and I will not pretend otherwise. I say it because you have asked me to, because you have modeled exactly this kind of grace, and because I trust that you can do something in that situation and in that person that my anger could never accomplish. Soften what needs to be softened. Speak into what I cannot reach. And protect my heart from the kind of anger that hardens over time into a wall I can no longer see over. A wall that keeps out not just the harm I feared, but the grace I need. Let me go into this day present, God. Let me not carry yesterday's unresolved weight into every single conversation today, coloring everything that arrives with the tint of what came before. Let me begin here, in this quiet, with you, so that what I bring into the world today has been touched by your peace, at least at the start. That is all I am asking, just a beginning. Just enough room for something other than the anger to move through me first. Where the anger is still real and still needs to be addressed, give me the right moment and the right words. But let me come to that moment from a grounded place, not from the raw center of this morning's tightness. Remind me today, when the anger rises again, and it may, that it does not have to set the course, that I have a choice in what I do with it, that there is a path through it that does not lead to harm. Walk that path with me. I do not want to navigate it alone. Let the sun go down today on a heart that is lighter than where it began this morning. Let today be a step, even a small one, even an imperfect one, in the direction of the peace that holds. Not the peace that comes because everything is resolved, but the peace that comes because I am not carrying this alone. The peace that is not the absence of difficulty, but the presence of a God who is greater than the difficulty, and who has not abandoned me to carry it alone. Let that be enough to begin with, and let each step be taken in that company. May the God of all peace settle into the places where anger has been living, the tight places, the guarded places, the places you have not let anyone near in a while. May you find moments today where the grip loosens, where the story you have been telling yourself becomes a little less fixed, where compassion breaks through even for the people who have made themselves easy to be angry at. And may you discover in those moments that releasing the anger does not mean losing what was truly yours to hold. What is truly yours is not the anger. What is truly yours is the peace being offered right now, in this quiet morning, before the day has asked anything of you yet. Receive it. Carry it instead. Amen.